Yeah. All right. Next word up in the connotation series, arrogance. When does that word get applied? Arrogance has a negative connotation. We're going to break down those walls on that word. Arrogance. Generally, the word arrogance plays off of value or worth. Okay? Generally, in a constructive or applicable way that's valid, the word arrogance gets played out when someone has a over exaggerated sense of worth, an over exaggerated sense of value. Okay, so let's talk about that. There are, in fact, people who can be having an inflated ego about something and think that what they think or what their opinions are matter more than they actually do. They think that their contribution or their effort put into something matters more than what it actually does. We're not even going to talk about that. That kind of speaks for itself. What I want to talk about is when people use the word arrogant as a defense mechanism, as a deflection. A lot of times people use that word as a deflection or a defense mechanism. In my experience, I've seen people that are considered arrogant, and that's because people don't want to acknowledge their value. People want to diminish their value. People want to deflate their value. People not only want to deflate their value or diminish it or marginalize it, but they want to convince said person of that as well. But they're probably surely not succeeding. It's not being it's not convincing. They're not convincing this person that their value is as low as they want it to be, basically. I could take myself, and it's real interesting because in my experiences with that word being used against me, whenever it has been, and it's not very often, but usually when that word is used against me, there's an interesting campaign that people or an individual is partaking in. And that campaign is that they are really trying to fight hard against the fact that there are enough people that acknowledge my value, but they want to change the narrative about me. Now, mind you, I'm not somebody that really factors in how much people value them or how highly people think of me or how much attention I'm getting. Those things don't really matter to me as much. But the people that are calling me arrogant, it actually does matter to them. And you just kind of see when they choose to chime in or choose to exert their energy on you. And it has more often to do with the fact that they don't like the attention I'm getting. They don't like the value that I have. They don't like the value that other people have in me. They don't like my worth. So they want to try to like run a negative, it's a smear campaign, if you want to, for lack of better words. It's a discouragement campaign. People will call you arrogant just to discourage you. Maybe they don't want you to think you're as valuable as you actually are. They've got a problem with how other people value you. That's why I call it a defense mechanism because they're trying to defend they're trying to defend their desire to put a negative energy on you basically. That's what they want to do, and they're trying to defend that, and it's not working apparently. So now they come and call you arrogant. They probably tried to put you down. They probably tried to discourage you, and it didn't work. And you still keep your head high. You still keep your energy. You still keep moving forward. People will start calling you arrogant. People will insult you. People will slander your name. People will talk trash on you. People will try and be overcritical of you. And if they're not getting a response to those things, you kind of handle it like, oh, okay, well, that's your opinion. Oh, okay, I could see how one would think that. Uh huh. That's interesting. You give them that type of energy back, just kind of deflect it, not defend yourself, not validate yourself, not explain yourself. They'll call that arrogance. People, and generally there has to be enough, but not enough of something to encourage them to think that they're going to pull off changing your energy, changing your self image, changing your self perspective. Either they feel that they're in a high enough position or have high enough authority or high enough social leverage on you to the point where their opinion is going to even matter. But it doesn't. And once they start to see that their opinion doesn't matter, or they're not rattling you, or shifting your energy, or shifting how you carry yourself, they'll start calling you arrogant. So as to say, hey, you seem to be impervious to my energy that I'm giving off. You seem to have a unpenetrable mentality. And they don't like that. So they'll chalk that up as arrogant. Like, well, who is this person not to feel some type of way when I give them this negative energy? How can this person be amongst the masses and the vast majority have this perspective on them, but they don't seem to conform to it? People call you arrogant when you don't conform to their ways. And there'll be many reasons why people want you to conform. They'll think you should conform because you're in a position where you should just conform and be subordinate, be manipulatable. I guess that's how you would say it. Or they just feel that you haven't put in enough work. You haven't proven yourself yet. Okay, a lot of people, I'm one of them, they'll walk it like they talk it. Before the recognition, before the admiration, if it does ever come, before that even comes into play. You believe in yourself before other people believe in you. They don't like that. They could chalk that up to arrogance. You like I said, this is the important part that I want y'all to remember. You see yourself higher or better or more valuable than they want to. It's crazy. It's so sad if you actually think about it. You see yourself not stooping down to that image they want to paint of you, that picture they want to paint of you, they'll think you arrogant. Which is interesting because more often than not, what that tells me about people is that they've been in settings where their opinion matters too much. They've been too influential at some point in time in their life, and they think that they're gonna carry that influence over to you or over to another person, and it gets deflected like, yeah, man, worry about yourself. You know, the easiest thing in the world to be is a critic. They start getting that type of vibe back. It's like, well, oh, man, you arrogant. People try to people try to sell you something that they think you need. Like, say you got acne problems or something like that, and the person you got acne problems. Somebody come heavily suggesting like, hey, you might, you know, I use this on my face, or you can get this for your face or whatever, and maybe that person just they might know they might know more about their circumstance than you do. They might know that they're having an allergic reaction, or they know that they might be just going through a stage of puberty, or they know it might have something to do with stress or something of that nature, and they not really wavered by that. Like, my face won't always like this. It'll clear up, or it's something personal going on with them that other people don't have to know. So they might reject it and refute it. Like, no, I'm good on all that. I don't need that. Thanks, but no thanks. And people will just be sitting there like, but look at your face. Look at those bumps on your face. Or look at those blemishes. Like, you don't. I think you need it. You don't think you do. And then they'll start thinking you arrogant. Like, this person must not think it's that bad. Or this person's not. It's a projection. Basically, this person, if my face looked like that, I'd feel bad. Ha ha. See, you don't have the energy that person has. It's really, really funny how the word arrogance is used as a projection of weakness more often than not. Pay attention to people. It's basically them telling you that they couldn't walk a mile in your shoes, or let alone a couple of feet. You an outspoken person, um, and they don't particularly like an outspoken person, or the reason they don't like the outspoken person is very arbitrary. Maybe someone has the same perspectives that they have, but they don't have the heart or courage to speak on it. Maybe you address certain issues that deep down inside they feel the same way about, but they fear the backlash. They fear being ostracized or chastised. Well, you might be the type of person that's not necessarily welcoming to that energy, but you can't do nothing to stop that if people want to come at you like that. So you just be a little bit more transparent, be a little more vocal, be a little more courageous, be a little more dignant than these people are willing to be. And they'd be like, you can't say that. Like, you can't, you know, you can't buck against that. Man, you need to just conform to it. Uh, get along to go along type of thing. Well, that person might know. It's crazy how many like civil activists and environmental activists and people like that are actually trying to make a difference in this world. It's very interesting to see the energy that they get. People come at them like, well, who do you think you are to come in here and try to make things better? Who do you think you are to come in here and give this situation a different energy than the masses have been giving it? They'll think that's arrogant. Like, you think you can change things? You think your voice matters? See, back to what I said earlier, they're putting value on your presence, on your energy, on your voice that they don't even want other people to acknowledge. That's what it is. Be careful when they use that word arrogant. It's generally not negative. It's a negative projection on their behalf, but it's not negative. It's because either they are insecure about the value and worth that they know you have, but they don't want you to have it, or they don't like the fact that you have it, or they want to try to curb it, or they don't like the fact that you value yourself above their marginalizing or minimalizing of you. They want you to feel stupid. They want you to feel ignorant. They don't want you to feel as attractive as you feel. They don't want you to feel as confident as you feel. They don't want you to feel as sure as you feel. They don't want you to feel you have as much of an ability to impact or make a difference, encourage, or influence as you do have, or at least feel that you have. You got to believe in yourself before other people do. A lot of people don't believe in themselves unless other people do. Arrogance. Deuces.